All right, this is the Gambler Crit Series 2021. Going to be held at downtown Bixby. Got great pavement, four-corner crit. Ended up being fairly technical in the corners because they're pretty tight, but it was a fast one.
Okay, I'm gonna blow the whistle for the.
Not very many people had raced, obviously, in the last year. It was a little sketch in places, quite a few crashes. I think there was at least probably 1 to 2 in every race, other than the juniors and the women's. Had the wind from the northwest, so we were a little into the wind on this side. Here we go. So these first couple of laps, I think everybody was just kind of feeling it out. It's not typically an area where you can ride real fast, stop signs and traffic, so lots of people had obviously ridden the course, done some recon, but I'm not sure how many people had ridden it flying through the corners at 25 miles an hour, which we will be here in a little bit. So kind of the first few laps we were just kind of feeling each other out, just checking the course out. It is a closed course, so no yellow line rule or anything. The Gambler guys, they always do a great job. We've got lots of volunteers, corner marshals, we've got local police. Done really well. This corner was a little bit sketch, only because if you went wide, you'd go in a ditch. There's no curb or anything. Found out this corner here is really probably the best corner. I mean, you could make moves on that corner, you could roll through it really good. Not many people seemed like they were figuring that out. When I got out alone or was in single file with some people, we could just rail through that corner, but a lot of people would kind of swing wide and try and cut inside. It was a great place to make a move, and you'll see a move. I'm not sure if it's in this race or the 4.5s. Be sure and check that video out. It'll be posted soon as well. So it seemed like anytime people were 2 wide to 3 wide in the corners, there were issues. Like I said earlier, there were lots of crashes. Some were not good. I think some people got some injuries. I think they're okay, but definitely some broken bikes, definitely I heard some broken bones. In the P123 later, there was an ambulance that needed to take a guy away. I believe he's okay, but I think he was majorly concussed, and I'm not sure what else. I have not heard. So, kind of picking things up a little bit. We're doing about 24. Again, we've went around the course once, now almost twice. Trying to feel each other out, feel the course out. People are looking around, what's going on. Another thing to note, this plaza here, they had some seams. You can kind of see the tape markings. Those were big enough and deep enough to suck a wheel in. And looks like we've already had a crash, and they're letting those guys back on the course. It was a hard course to get back on because it was so fast. So if you were caught up in a crash, chances of you catching back on a group were kind of slim, honestly. And they've got to let you out at a certain time so that you don't cause a crash yourself. So as the group passes you, now you've got to basically sprint to get on. And because we could kind of keep our speed through the corners, it was difficult with the wind. Of course, on this side, I wouldn't say you have a tailwind, but you could get a little bit protected. I did not do that well. I'm actually on the protected side right now, but later you'll see I wasn't that protected. I was more concerned with just getting good lines and trying to keep my fitness at a level that I could finish strong. Coming through that corner, again, that's an area that you'll see everybody get a little bit better at. Some don't seem to get any better at, but it's probably the best corner to do anything on. JJ there in the yellow and blue, he's with Centier. They're making a little attack here. He's got a few followers. I kind of try and get in on their wheel. JJ's a strong rider. He's already got a gap up there. We're just on a single file trying to stay on his line. That was probably one of the sketchiest corners. It was curbs on both sides, fairly quick, and turns out there was a crash there a little bit later. A guy got his face cut up pretty good. I think he crashed and then some people probably ran over him, is my guess. I think he's all right. I don't know if he was, I don't know him. I didn't recognize him. But again, JJ's already got a pretty decent gap up there. Just kind of staying in line here. Nothing against any of these guys. I know the guy in front of this particular group, Elias, and the second wheel behind him, Clive. They got a little sketchy there. I'm like, hey guys, come on. So I thought, hey, this is a good time. Let's just see if we can bridge up to JJ. And I didn't like how they were kind of getting sketch. And why not? Let's test my fitness and see if I can get up here. You can see my heart's pegged out. We're trying, we're getting up there. JJ's just tempo, he's just steady up there. I'm trying to get on his wheel. And I know if I can get on his wheel, then, you know, hey, maybe we got a little break here. Whether I help him or not, or he drags me around, one way or another, we might be able to get away. I'm not sure who was following me, if anybody, at this point. My back camera did not capture this race. I don't know why, but I'm going to be looking into that. It did capture the 4.5. Again, checking that one out. It was a battery issue, but I don't know why it was a battery issue. I had everything charged and told it to go, but I got done and there was no video there. So I'm not sure who's chasing me. I'd look back every now and then. I just don't remember on this. JJ's just peeked back to see if anybody's there. I believe when we come through right here, because we're together, I find it took me almost a whole lap to bridge. You know, I'm still in the red there. His team over there is saying, hey, you guys, you know, team up, you help each other out. He's like, all right, come on through, bub. So little did he know, I had just tried to bridge. I'm pegged, and I'm like, okay. And right about now, he's saying, come on, Trey, they're gonna catch us. And I'm like, I don't have anything. Unfortunately, we're even slowing down. And I think I'm probably the reason this brake didn't stay. There's a wreck right there. That's that gentleman that was caught up in a wreck. I don't know if he was the wreck or if he got caught up in a wreck, but he stayed there, I think, most of this race. They bandaged him up, and we actually basically had to take that corner, which was probably the sketchiest corner already, a little tighter the whole rest of the route, the race. He's done with me. He's like, all right, well, they caught back on. And so I think the other guys are with me too. And so we're just gonna run through these corners. See, that's a good line right there. You don't have to swing out. You can just kind of swing in and bleed over into the right side. Ideally, you want to be on the left side coming in here so you can be protected, but because of that seam, it seems like always I would end up on the right side, which was not protected. It was not smart by me. I wasn't thinking that during the race. So at the start, they did let the women, I'm not sure what category, I forget, start 30 seconds behind us. That's them here. And JJ and them, I think we might still have just a little bit of a gap, so they were pushing through to just keep it going. There's that wide turn that already has someone in it. It was unfortunate for him and unfortunate for all the rest of us because it made that sketchy turn even more sketchy. I don't know if they felt like they couldn't move him, or I don't know what the deal is. Later he was up and sitting on the curb. But man, I wouldn't want to be sitting right there with all these guys coming through at 26 miles an hour. You're just asking for more trouble. So we're 7 laps into it. Got halfway through here. I think there's a few of them behind us still. We do, at some point, form a break that is basically 7 of us. Get a little lap traffic here. Looking around, making sure who's where. I wish I knew, but I don't. So we're just moving through here. Moto's up there. Again, we've got that wide turn here where we're trying to stay narrow, and it definitely affected how you could take that turn. So whether I was taking it as good as anybody else, it definitely was one of those turns. This one and turn 3 up here, I burned a lot of, I wouldn't call them matches, but I definitely had to surge a lot to kind of stay on a wheel. Turn 1 and turn 4, whether it was surgy or not, I definitely could take those a lot cleaner. And I think part of turn 3 right there was other people not taking it great. If it was just me and my line, I was able to just pedal through and felt good. But when I would have to let up or even touch a brake, their line and pace was different, and so I'd have to surge back on. And I'm sure that cost some of my fitness. Really cool venue. The downtown Bixby area is a great area. Really nice of them to let us basically take over. Again, we had a really good turnout. I think almost every race that they put on this evening was filled with 50 racers. And I think there were 6 or maybe 7 races of different categories. And so I pretty much stayed about 163 to 5 to 8, 165 at 68. I think at this time, yeah, I was trying to force a gap so the guys behind me would come around. I was thinking I need to save some fitness, and so that's why I let up and was pushed off to the side. I was wanting them to kind of fill that gap because I was intentionally trying to let them do some work for me, and a little foreshadowing, I still wasn't able to catch on, but they did some work and they filled that gap, and we stayed together. Like I said, 7 of us stay the gap. It just, I don't know, something about this course or something about me, I wasn't getting as protected as I felt like I should have been able to be. And I know on the north side, which is not this side, the other side to the left, I was not staying in a protected area as much as I should have. And now watching this video, I know that for sure. This side, there wasn't a lot of protection, but if there was some, it was on the right, which is where you should be anyway, so everybody should be guttering everybody out anyway. But we had those cones, which I think actually caused a really nasty wreck in the P123 race later in the evening. They're kind of in a bad spot. So I'm sure those guys are guttering each other out and either closed a gap or something, but Gentleman was badly wrecked out and had to be taken off in an ambulance. I believe he's okay, but it wasn't good. They actually stopped the race and then restarted the race, which I didn't know they would do. All right, this corner right here, normally we wouldn't be 1, 2, 3 wide right there, and I think right here, same thing, we're a little bit strung out. I didn't take the corner very well. Got the guy on the wide right. Elias now fills in another group, so now nearly the whole break is in front of me, which you'd think would be good because I should be able to save some energy back here. I didn't feel like I was. I mean, I'm still almost at 170 beats per minute, which my max is 180, but really my workload max is about 165, 168. If I get into the 170s, I'm pretty much just gassed. My heart can get to 180. I think it did later, but that's only like with a sprint or just a short effort. My sustain, which this is very much a sustained course. I mean, everything is just on it. So JJ's making a move. We're lap 12. They're probably calling out 2 to go, and he's got enough fitness. He puts it on, and you can see him right there in the corner now. Again, he's already got a gap. We're just kind of bunched together. I don't think anybody here at this point wanted to follow him or could follow him. I'm not sure. Again, I keep losing just a little bit, and I believe that's the last in front of me now. So I am the last of this break group now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I believe this is all of us because there were 7 of us. Got 3 Tulsa Wheelmen there. They're in the blue kits. Myself, Sarco Solutions, Team Sarco. My brother, he was caught in a wreck. Really, in this race, he was just slowed down. They reinserted him, but he was not able to catch back on. So it just barely slows up for a moment. I don't know why. We're still doing 25, 26. Got 1 lap to go. Guess they're maybe just playing a little cat and mouse. Who's going to go where? I didn't have enough fitness to do anything. I'm just trying to hold on. I'm, again, right there on the very edge, 168. I did not take that corner well. I was inside and overlapped his wheel, and as he was coming in, I had to brake just a little bit. That caused this 2-bike gap, which turned into 3, 4, 5 gaps because I was already pegged. I'm at 170. I didn't have enough. I don't know that I could have finished any differently, but that corner right there definitely cost me any better finish for sure. I don't know if there's a lapse in concentration or the fact that they were not all single file. They were kind of still cat and mouse, who's going to be where. And I just, I wasn't able to catch back on. I'm here, but I'm not in it. They're out of the saddles. They've got some left. I do a little seated sprint here, but I mean, it's not going to do anything. They're 50 yards up there. So we're giving our best bet, and there we go. That's the first Cat 5 race of the season for myself. Many of those that were in this race, I would imagine. This is going to be a race every 2 weeks here in the Bixby, Tulsa area, and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.